going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the channel. For this video, we're going to do something different. I just want to talk very briefly about why there hasn't really been much activity going on for the past year. So let's get into it. Number one, the biggest struggle has ultimately been finances. Money's been tight. So I've been picking up a lot of later shifts to try and compensate for that. But also, talking to Ken, the master tech that's been training me, trying to improve my worth as a technician. So I've been doing a lot of studying so I can get more automotive certifications. That way it allows you to start doing those more higher paying jobs, if you will. So right now I've got one ASC, steering and suspension, and then I've got 3 state certs. So one in braking systems, one in engine repair, one in electrical diagnosis, and that was able to net me a pretty big raise. That being said, you still have to watch the finances. After all, I do owe my alma mater like $50,000, so I'm still in student loan debt. So that's a hurdle that also has to be passed in order to try and put more focus on the creative side of things, such as this YouTube channel. Finances really are playing a big role into it, and because of that, when it comes to, do you choose to schedule this shoot or do you choose to schedule that later shift to make sure you can put food on the table and you can pay rent? I mean, if you're like me and you're in the working class, you're going to choose to put food on the table and you're going to choose to pay rent, which means that unfortunately the channel has taken a back seat as of late. That being said, I do have more content planned. I've got 3 reviews for different vehicles that have already been filmed. They're just kind of in editing limbo. One of them is almost done. And then we started shooting another motorcycle, but that one's not going to be seen until next year. And there was another car we had that's not going to be seen until next year when we can start finishing the filming portion of it. After all, at the time of upload, it is late October. The weather is starting to change, so I'm willing to wait for it though. So part 2, this one's more of a personal thing. I haven't really been good at taking care of my health, both physically and mentally. One thing that I would like to do is lose some weight. The problem with that is with the shifts that I work, there's not really a lot of time or energy that I have on standby to go to the gym and get back into workout routines. And I think also because of that, it's affected me mentally. I've been feeling a lot of stress and just kind of been drained. And so when I get home from work, it kind of saps the creative juices out of my head. So I guess it's something that I need to learn how to manage better. It's not something that's going to be a walk in the park, if you will. It's going to take some trial and error to find a balance between work and editing and whatnot that will allow me to produce content at a regular rate. This past weekend, I made a short film titled Why We Drive, and you can actually see it here on the channel. I wanted to upload it to the channel so that way the people who weren't able to make it out to the premiere at the Newport Beach Film Festival would have a way to experience the short film. That being said, after the short film, I got to talk a little bit to Aunt Anstead of Wheeler Dealers fame, and I got to talk a little bit to Amelia Hartford, and she gave me some words of encouragement about content creation, with the basic gist of it being, she said, you want to be consistent with your content, but not at a point where it's going to cost you the quality of your content, right? So basically, you want to have a consistent upload schedule that still produces quality content for your viewers and for newcomers to the channel alike, as opposed to just uploading videos for the sake of the algorithm trying to pick it up. Because then at that point, you're just making superficial content, and I'm not really interested in doing that. I want content that I think that people can resonate with, and part of the fun for this channel for me is being in the editing seat and being behind the camera, and starting to piece things together in the editing software. So I think for now, my goal is I'm going to try and have another video out maybe once every 2 to 3 months. And I know that's not a lot, especially for the average, I guess, YouTube channel where they're uploading maybe, let's say, I don't know, 1 video a week, 2 videos a week, 3 videos a week. I'm just not in a position where I can do that and retain the quality of the videos on hand. I would like the car reviews to be miniature films in of themselves. So I'm willing to make videos that are like 20, 30, 40 minutes long. Amelia Hartford, thank you for that advice. I guess now it's on me to actually start putting that into practice. So, third reason why I've been gone away for about a year is just, it goes hand in hand with the mental health aspect of things. Just feeling exhausted and deflated and just not having that creative juice after work. It's made it very difficult to stay motivated in the long-term side of things. So to everyone whose car I filmed and it hasn't been uploaded yet, I sincerely apologize. The nature of the beast, if you will. That being said, I know some people have said, why don't you hire an editor? Number one, I can't afford an editor. Number two, it doesn't sit right with me to let someone do all of the legwork on my channel. I feel that because it is my content, I should be responsible for it. And like I said in the previous portion, part of the fun for me is actually being able to edit the style of content that I know I would go back and watch. Now, that being said, going back and looking through the videos that I have on the channel, another thing for me is always hoping to be able to meet expectations. And so it creates sort of this kind of anxiety, if you will, with a new upload, wondering if it's going to be received well, if I think I did better than the last one. But, you know, I want to keep pushing the envelope when it comes to especially car reviews on YouTube. On a side note, I would like to get invested into car builds and the like. Again, that's more of a financial hurdle that I'm not really able to cross right now. But back to the car review thing. Personally, I see it just kind of feels difficult to carve out your name, if you will, in an overly saturated market. It seems like everyone's got a car channel now. Everyone's doing car reviews. And even then, I said earlier, I want to branch out into builds. And yeah, I do. I want to branch out more into kind of like semi-restoration, engine swap, trans swap, rebuilds of engines and transmissions and stuff like that. Actual builds. I don't want to pull a car onto the channel and say, hey, check out my build, and then just throw a wrap and wheels on it. I personally don't really think that's much of a build. It is cool to teach people how to do wraps and whatnot, as I think that the cosmetics are one aspect of a build. But me being a car guy and being a mechanic, I'm more interested in the internal running gear. Like, I'm interested in camber, caster, toe angles. I'm interested in, you know, whether you're going to install a big brake kit. I'm interested in what parts do you have in the engine and the transmission to handle the power of said engine, and why you think that that goes together with a car. So, for example, a common engine swap, one that I would love to invest in at some point, is a 2ZZ swap in a Mark III Toyota MR2, also known as the MRS or the MR2 Spider. I think the 2ZZ and the C66 speed out of the Mark VII Celica GTS are a fantastic combination for a lightweight two-seat mid-engine roadster. And apparently it's an easy swap. It would be a cool thing to do for the first swap, for example. Seeing as I already have a Celica with a shell that's rotting out, but an engine that's still in pretty good shape, it would be cool if I could drop that engine and transmission, rebuild them, and while I'm in there, upgrade the internal. So for example, on the 2ZZ, a common failure point is the lift bolt. They tend to snap after repeated use just because it's a weak metal, so you can replace it with, I believe it's a titanium lift bolt. Upgrade the valve train with valves and valve springs. Go with the monkey wrench racing, maybe stage 2 or 3 cams. Pull out the pistons, go with forged pistons that allow for higher compression ratios, a better intake manifold, and all of that to create a high-revving, naturally aspirated, two-seat lightweight roadster. I think it would be sick, but that's just one example of what I would like to do on the build side of things, to just kind of test what I've been learning in the shop and, you know, what Ken has been teaching me as a mechanic. But again, you know, the struggle is really just the motivation. I'm always worried if the content that I make is not going to be up to par with the last one. you know, my friends and my family have been supportive, and they've been watching, and they're saying, you know, they see the improvement from video to video, and I want to keep that trend going. But the others is, you know, with that financial kind of hurdle right now, it's, how do I put it? It feels like sometimes a slog, and that kind of takes away from the motivation to make content, knowing that I'm not really going to have the money available to invest in those builds and stuff like that. So every time I take off from work, for example, it has to kind of be a strategic, planned thing to make sure that it's not going to be too costly, but then we can still have all the time to get the shots we need for the review and what like that. And I guess, you know, the last and the final thing is it's just trying to push the envelope. I said earlier in the video that I think that the car channel kind of sphere is a bit oversaturated on YouTube right now, and I think a lot of people would agree with me. So to try and leave your mark and do things in your style, and to create something that I personally think is a bit more unique as to just who I am, you know, sometimes that's a bit of a struggle. You get people that don't like the style that you do, the car reviews you see on YouTube. I think people prefer a more simplified style that doesn't necessarily take risks, and that's all well and good, but I don't necessarily want to be a copy of every other car channel on YouTube, if that makes sense. So I'm not really ashamed about other hobbies I'm invested in, like comics and anime and stuff, and I will continually make those references. And I've had people tell me, they say, stop putting music in your videos. You don't need the music. This isn't a disco, all this other stuff. But I strongly disagree with that. I think if Top Gear was able to make it work, then it just lands on me to just get better with the editing software. I have a specific idea of how I want the content to come out, and I'm going to pursue that. Some people may like that, some people may not like that. But overall, I just hope that I can get back into the consistency of things. And, you know, whenever you do something like this, you putting your face on the camera, narration, editing, whatever, your content now is on the internet. And I think there's always going to be, at least for me, a little bit of nervousness when it comes to uploading. Because, in a sense, you are throwing yourself to the wolves, right? You are putting your stuff out there, and you have no idea whether people are going to like it, or whether they're going to find a reason to hate you. So it's always going to be stressful, but from the feedback I've received from friends, from family, from, you know, even some of the guys that I work with, and, you know, the advice I got from Amelia Hartford, and the, how do I put it, amount of support I got at the film festival from just people in the audience coming up and saying how much they resonated with it. I just want to be able to put out quality content. And so that's a bit about why I've been gone for the past year. I hope I can get back into the swing of uploading things, and I appreciate the support of, you know, friends, family, and all the viewers and the subscribers. But, you know, we out here, I guess. It's tough, but you gotta keep pushing forward. So with that being said, thanks for watching. See y'all in the next one.
The sum of my mistakes, can I catch a break to breathe? Not a perfect man, but I understand the journey. So I'll write another song to right another wrong. Oh my, it's a game of live and learn. I loved and then said, oh my, so tired, but I begin again. Every step is time well spent. I'll take pride, down for the ride till I get it right. Trust yourself, love, it's okay, you get it right. Beat yourself up, it's okay, you get it right. No big deal, love, it's okay, it's just another wrong. I've been working on the daily, hours, minutes, seconds fade. Trying to keep up, staying busy, gotta fail faster, they say. Hope that it leads to destiny. When I look back on mistakes, journey carried me to my dreams, lessons I embrace till I see. Trust yourself, love, it's okay, you get it right. Beat yourself up, it's okay, you get it right. No big deal, love, it's okay, it's just another wrong. We all have flaws, just another wrong. Please don't take it hard, love. We must be strong. Yeah. We live.
That's really an interesting color. I didn't know it was red.